This is both a lung ultrasound and a fast exam. We'll start with the lung ultrasound. This is one lung here, and you can see that there's good lung sliding. The pleura is shimmering back and forth. So this favors intact lung and doesn't make pneumothorax too likely. Here is a different story. This is the other lung where you don't see any shimmering of the lungs, and this is concerning for a pneumothorax. Again, you have one lung here, you can see it shimmering back and forth compared to here where you don't see any movement of the pleural line. Now this doesn't always mean that there's a pneumothorax. This is suggestive of one, but things like a pleurodesis, COPD with lots of blebs can also look like this. With that said, in the right clinical context, trauma, hypotension, and concern for this, I think this is good enough to intervene and act on this based on this ultrasound. But yeah, this does look like that there would be a pneumothorax in a trauma patient if you do see this. Now onto the fast exam. This is the right upper quadrant. I think you have adequate views of the right upper quadrant. You can see the liver tip up here, kidneys, so this is Morrison's pouch. You do get a little bit of the diaphragm like there. When I do the fast exams, I do like to see more of the diaphragm because you also want to look for a hemothorax that may be in the chest. We sometimes forget that when you're doing the fast exam, you don't just look at the abdomen, you also want to look in the chest. This is the bladder view here, or suprapubic, and this is with the probe in long axis, the indicators to the patient's head, and you can see fluid appear here if it was a positive fast exam, which I do not see. This looks negative to me, and with the probe in transverse, I still do not see any clear free fluid. To me, the fast exam is limited because of this view here. This is the left upper quadrant, and you're trying to get views of the splenorenal space. The more sensitive area is actually the splenodiaphragmatic space. So this area here, the space between the spleen and the diaphragm, and that's the more sensitive area to look for free fluid. I don't see the spleen well, nor do I see the diaphragm. So to me, the left upper quadrant is a limited study, which makes the whole fast exam limited. If you can't get adequate views of all three, then you can't say it's positive or negative. What I would have done was I would have moved the probe a little bit more towards the axilla, also maybe more posterior towards the bed to get what you needed to see. So the main take-home points, I think the lung ultrasound was great, and this is concerning for a pneumothorax in the right clinical setting. And in terms of the fast exam, because of the left upper quadrant not being able to see the splenodiaphragmatic space and getting the complete anatomy here, I think the fast exam is limited, and you can't decisively say that there's free fluid or not. And the suprapubic view and the right upper quadrant, however, were definitely adequate, and to me don't illustrate any free fluid. Hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions.